welcome back once again to your YouTube channel, ENC Achievement. So last time we had a discussion on the questions of an interview titled A Three-Wheeled Revolution by Irfan. The last answer was based on the business of a success, mainly based on the concentration of the people who are staying at the bottom of the pyramid. That is what C.K. Prahlad's, the great successful businessman's, that promise or that quotation is repeated. That reverberation, that focus is reverberated by Irfan Allah. He says that a business can be very successful only mainly concentrating on the people who are living at the bottom of the social pyramid. Now we will pass on to another question. Can you describe the operation model of Sama? So, interviewer asked Irfan, can you describe the operation of or operation model of Sama? Let us see what does Irfan Allah respond to. When a rickshaw puller approaches Saman, we first go through a verification process. The operator is then given training on basic etiquettes and traffic rules. That's all. The operation model, let us see. We first, or the rickshaw drivers are given a training on how to behave publicly. And also traffic rules training. Then we approach the banks and help them get a loan for a new rickshaw. Applying for getting a loan for rickshaw. Previously banks were very reluctant. They told, oh, it is very difficult to allow loans. And help them get a loan for a new rickshaw. Previously banks were very reluctant to give loans to this section of the bottom section of the society. Now, since we stand as guarantors, someone stood as guarantors, bank is ready to give them loan. Now, since we stand as guarantors, these rickshaw pullers have access to credit. The rickshaw pullers feel truly empowered. They are strengthened when they drive their own vehicle. So actually when the bank granted loans, they took loans and bought their own rickshaws. Now drivers of the rickshaw pullers have their own pride that they are driving or riding their own rickshaws, or they are pulling their own rickshaw. The rickshaw pullers feel truly empowered when they drive their own vehicles. We provide the rickshaw pullers with accident and health insurance, and each driver is given an ID card. They should be identified ID card and is required to wear a uniform while operating the rickshaws. The rickshaw puller now becomes a part of a Samman family. That is all. Let us go for the next question of the interview. How does Samman help increase the revenues? Revenues means the income of the rickshaw pullers. How does Samman itself get its revenues? Rickshaw pullers, how did they get money? And how does the Samman Foundation get its operation money? Samman rickshaws are designed in such a way, the rickshaw is designed in such a way that they have plenty of space to display advertisements. Advertisements of clothes, ornaments, vehicles. Several local and national brands place their advertisements on the rickshaws, and advertisement revenues split in half between Samman and the rickshaw pullers. Also, you see, if they get 100 rupees for one advertisement, 50 rupees for rickshaw puller and 50 rupees for Samman Foundation and the rickshaw pullers. Also, the rickshaw pullers can choose to sell. Rickshaw pullers can make the opportunities of selling water, fruit juice, cell phone, prepaid cards, etc. In that case, they come to a central rickshaw yard in the morning and load up their provisions. Provisions means water, juice, biscuits, mobile cards. This is another way of generating income for rickshaw pullers. At the end of the day, the profit from their sales is split, divided between the drivers and the Samman Foundation. The money that rickshaw pullers earn by transporting the passengers is completely for the drivers. Passengers amount is completely for drivers, but sales cash or profit divided between the drivers and the Samman Foundation. Advertisement revenue or income money is split between half split between this one, drivers and the Samman Foundation. There are several other benefits on which we cannot put a monetary value. Apart from monetary values, there are so many other benefits given to rickshaw pullers. There are so many other benefits given to rickshaw pullers. So rickshaw pullers now have so many advantages rather than monetary benefits. Now they feel a sense of belonging and empowerment. These rickshaw pullers are feeling a kind of family belonging and empowerment. Children of the operators and their wives, drivers and their wives, drivers' children, rickshaw pullers, drivers' children and their wives attend free evening classes called Samman Gyan. Evening classes. The title of the evening free classes attended by drivers, wives and children are called Samman Gyan. Samman has brought dignity and they were included to those who were previously considered menial laborers. They have got social status. In addition, I am very happy to say that Samman itself is a profitable organization. Last fiscal year, financial year, Samman Foundation has made a net profit of 8 lakh rupees and a revenue of 50 lakh rupees. Profit of 8 lakh rupees and a revenue of 50 lakh rupees. My mentors, well-wishers have been emphasizing the importance of sustainability to make this foundation flourishing and beneficial for others. Next question, does Samman get directly involved in microfinancing? No. Irfan Alam is telling, no. No microfinancing. We do not directly microfinance the rickshaw pullers. We just enable the rickshaw pullers to get finance from the banks. You go and get finance in the form of loans from the banks. Instead of paying rent for decades, the rickshaw pullers only pay the bank loan as installments and eventually become the owners of the rickshaws. That is a very important thing. They became the owners of the rickshaws by sending their installments to the bank loans they had got from the banks. The next question, aren't the cycle rickshaws a dying breed? That is the way. But cycle rickshaws is now getting more prominent in the present century, or they are dying kind of transportation. Let us see what is the answer of Irfan. Rickshaws continue to be a popular mode of transportation. It is not at all a dying breed. It is a popular method of transportation in most part of the country. The number of rickshaws in New Delhi has actually increased by 20% in the last 2 to 3 years. 20% of increase in rickshaws. The reason why they have increased is that it has become the choicest form of transport. The most choice form or the choicest form of transport to carry passengers to and from metro stations. Also, I personally think that the rickshaws are the vehicles of the future because they are environment friendly. They do not pollute the environment. And finally, what I have to say is, we have a research and development wing that is working on the solar powered fiberglass rickshaw we are going to make it in the nearest future. The solar powered fiberglass rickshaws is actually rickshaws are run with the power of the sun start. It is eco-friendly method of transportation. The next question is, what were your experiences at the Presidential Entrepreneurship Summit at the United States? Irfan Alam is telling, I met some truly great people in the summit. I was indeed honored to talk to the Nobel Prize laureate Muhammad Yunus. He is a Nobel Prize laureate. He invited me, Muhammad Yunus invited Irfan Alam to go to Bangladesh to help set up a similar organization for the rickshaw workers in Bangladesh. Another question is, what is your advice to students on entrepreneurship? An entrepreneur is one who identifies an opportunity and puts in conscious efforts to make it an enterprise. So that is the definition he is telling. An entrepreneur is one who identifies an opportunity and puts in conscious efforts to make this venture an enterprise. People generally discourage youth from dreading this path. Tell hey, youth, don't follow this methodology. But it is time to start thinking about entrepreneurship as a career. It is a job, as it can be important to tackle unemployment in the country. You see, nowadays, our country is facing, one of the problems faced by our country is unemployment, because most of the educated youth are waiting for this, what kind of this white collar or high salaried jobs. But entrepreneurship can tackle the problem of unemployment, and every youth should be attracted to this path. It is important to dream, but it is equally important to take a calculated risk to achieve your dream. That's a good thing. You see, it is important to, dreaming is important, but equally important is to take a calculated effort and risk to achieve your dreaming alone may not to make you successful. But if you take or put your efforts and also your hard work and sincerity into the dream will be achieved. Calculated risk should be. And we are going for the last question of the interviews. Thank you very much for sparing the time to talk to us. We wish you the very best for your unique journey. Then Irfan Alam concludes the interview by saying, thanks. It is with the blessing of my mentors, those who wish us best for me, and well-wishers, that I carry my journey forward. Remember, this is an interview given by Irfan Alam to Sujata Ramprasad for India Currents in May 2010, after having participated in the Entrepreneurship Summit in Washington. So, soon after participating in the entrepreneurship summit at Washington DC, the immediate interview given to Sujata Ramaprasad for India Currents in May 2010 is given as an example of an interview. So with that, we come to the end of this interview, A Three-Wheeled Revolution by Irfan. Please, listeners, listen. After each class, read and respond questions at the bottom of the page will be given to you in PowerPoint presentation. After each video watching, please subscribe and wait for the notifications to get to the read and respond question answers, and you can systematically go with writing the notes and writing the summary of each and every segment of the unit. Wish you all the best. Don't forget to subscribe and get notifications. Once again, wish you all the best.